greenhouse is an important part of the garden, especially in temperate zones, because it allows us to start our crops 1 month early and probably go on growing 1 month later into the autumn. So we use the greenhouse to grow salad crops starting in March, and also to grow crops that would easily be damaged by slugs or animals if we planted them outside, such as the brassicas, sprouting broccoli, plants of this kind, as well as in temperate zones we can get our sweet corn, our courgettes, our squashes, pumpkins started in the greenhouse before the warm weather comes, and we can safely plant them outside after the frosts. Building a greenhouse yourself is very easy if you have a good south-facing wall in your garden or on your buildings, because you can build the greenhouse as a lean-to against the wall, and to construct it yourself, a little bit of bricklaying to make a foundation, and then a small amount of woodwork. I think the greenhouse we have is about 7 meters long by 3 meters wide, and it probably cost me no more than about £300 and about 2 weeks of work. The polycarbonate roofing, the plastic sheets to make the joins, roofing nails, bricks don't cost anything. All I've done is I've got strips of plastic, you see, and I put mastic down both sides, drop that on the top, and then I put in the roofing nails on top. And then you have to get the glass cut to fit the windows. One of the big advantages of having a lot of stone or concrete in your greenhouse and in your garden is that it holds the heat. The heat comes in during the day and it stays at night and is released slowly to prevent the plants having a sudden shock when the space opens up and the temperature drops. I think the main important thing is durability, that you should not have things inside that rot or provide crevices and cracks for insects and slugs to live. And this is why I have a flat concrete shelf. There's nowhere for insects to live. It doesn't rot. I can wash it, I can jump on it, I can sweep it down, and I can make it very clean in the winter. So in the winter time there's nothing going to live there. If you have any cracks in wood, for example, insects will lay their eggs in there, slugs, and you'll have a problem inside. So hygiene is achieved by having very clean surfaces, and although concrete doesn't look beautiful, it works for sure. In the springtime early I plant salads in the greenhouse. I can plant them in February and get lettuce and salads to start to grow in the greenhouse, and I can start to plant my sweet corn, my courgettes, my squashes and pumpkins in the greenhouse early, because those plants in this climate wouldn't have time to do well in the summer, so we have to start them a month earlier in the greenhouse. And then after I've taken those out of the greenhouse, I normally will grow basil in the greenhouse. The greenhouse we use here is not a heated greenhouse. It depends for its heat on the sun. It actually gets much too hot when the sun is out, and you must have good ventilation to prevent the plants being desiccated by the sun. With a greenhouse you have to realize there's no escape from watering. The greenhouse doesn't water itself, so you won't be able to go racing off on holiday if you've got tomatoes or plants in the greenhouse, because they'll need watering every couple of days. Now the vine, just for interest, the system I use with the vine is I plant the vine before I build the greenhouse, so the vine's roots go down, and then I build the greenhouse over the top, so I don't need to water the vine. The roots already are deep enough, and so I don't have to water the vine. And it's a huge advantage being in the greenhouse, because the fungal diseases which will attack grapes and attack tomatoes will really only grow if there's damp, if there's water, so they never get wet. In the greenhouse we always prefer to use sterile compost, because anything in the greenhouse which has got bugs in it will grow like crazy and be very difficult to control. You don't have in the greenhouse any natural control agencies at all. So you put a watering can, so wiggle it around to make a hole. This is where we're going to put the plant. So we're going to do that in each one, and then we're going to water them again to make sure the hole itself is wet to the bottom. These are the ones. The smaller they are, the better they'll recover. Okay, that's true of everything. Tree, so we try and hold it by the leaf. and you just fiddle with it sharp, and then the seed like roots. Okay? All I have to do is to just put it in there, and you'll see tomorrow they may all be flat on their heads, or they may be sticking up and growing fast. We'll see.
Depends on how well they were transplanted.
Yes, but they're actually very robust at this stage.
Yeah.